I'm going to live stream while I finish my coffee. I just wanted to share with you some interesting knowledge and or facts. And facts. Alleged wellness checks for myself, pets, fur babies, and or my mom. All were not legal, not lawful, not sane, not competent, and not employable. Those other people did. All those alleged wellness checks. Wellness checks. All complaints, all allegations, all accusations, all false. We were not guilty. Other people did instead, including all before and all during and all later and all since November 12th and 13th, 2024. November 12th, 2024. All hours, be it daytime, evening, night, and morning. All those times. Especially when we were sleeping in our bedrooms or anywhere and we did not answer front door. At any time my front door was not answered. We did not open any doors and windows allowed any other person and other persons inside. Those all trespasses, mischief, unlawful entries, all of them, instead of us. And all before and all during and all later and all since March 19, 2025. All on all securities cameras, all on all images, all live, all real time, and all recorded, all witnessed, all before, all during, all later, and all since December 12, 2024. Dr. Judy Fernando, alleged Dr. Judy Fernando, Geriatrics Senior Services and or Seniors Services. Instead of treated my mom the health care my mom deserved and deserves, traumatic brain injury and alcohol. All Bellises, health cares, health, physical, emotional, and mental. Not only my mom, and all other times they tried, did as major neurologic disorder and Alzheimer's. Where was the neurological evidence of that? Where were the x-rays? Where were the MRIs and CAT scans? Not any that day. I saw not any. ERs and all elsewhere. My mom had other person, not me, other person and or other persons and or my mom's self injured. And all how. All who, what, where, when, why, and how. All before, all during, all later, and all since May 22, 2024. Nobody should, can, could, may, must, and need entered my parents and my parents' parents and my parents' parents' parents and my parents' 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 parents and all animals and all pets, all fur babies, and me, my Avril, all named, all, and all names, Bellis, estates, and contents. Especially nighttime, such as examples 9 p.m. to and during 9 a.m. Earlier here and all elsewhere happened. all before, all during, all later, and all since January 21, 2025. I'm using my kitchen facilities, the kitchen, mind my own business, privacy and safety. That's all we wanted the whole time. Did we get that? No, not yet. Use the kitchen. It's none of their business. Other residents. Oh, I have to return there. Ooh, does that bother them next door? Both sides? I don't care. There they are. All their lies, false allegations, false accusations, trespass, etc. They did it. I don't care who they are and alleged they are. They're the ones that did it. All securities cameras on, all witnessed. All those images live, real time, and recorded. And can those securities cameras record noises and sounds? They could, should, can, could, may, must, and need hurt those noises disturbances. And anyone and everyone that showed those other people next door to make those noises disturbances, made those noises, all bad, all purposeful, all wrong, all not lawful, all not legal, all not sane, all not competent, and obviously not employable themselves. Or, and that they just decide to make those noises themselves. Next door, banging on the doors, etc. In my kitchen, get something out my microwave. Oh, there it is, all nice and heated. Walking by my front door, without a care in the world who's out there, because I don't care, so I'm not peeping Tom. Although it's my people, I should can, could, we must, and he'd be able to look at it every couple morning. I didn't have any. I had a baked potato, jacket potato thing, or whatever, and I had some plant-based condiment, and I put some broccoli and cauliflower in it. That was good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, the pizza I was gonna make you, it was so frozen together I couldn't get it apart. Tomorrow I'll make it. Tomorrow I'll take it out and I'll wait and it thaws a little bit and I'll take it and put some in the oven. They're phoning the police. They hired some bogus lawyer. Have they gone to court, etc.? Wasted all those time, harassed all those people, bullied all those people, lied, falsely accused, wellness checks and all that alleged shit that they came up with. Who the hell do they think they are? I don't care who they are. They don't get to do that. They don't get to open bank accounts and use my address. I have 3 other names on this estate, and it's not them. So, you know, ever since we lived to on in out from 2100 Shereby Road, we wanted to downsize and enjoy our lives more. That's all we wanted. I wanted a penthouse. I never did get that penthouse. Any penthouse there, I never got, unfortunately. This shithole apartment, these apartments in this neighborhood, nothing as good as the neighbors there. It's not that I never cared. It's just like here, I don't want to meet, greet, know them, their other residents and their guests and staff. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to have my home as a home, with and or without I use the recreation center anymore. That's all it is, and or party room. That's all it is. All those other residents and their guests and staff that didn't allow us to do that yet, that's their fault, it's not ours. I was just trying to make a video. It's none of their business, a live stream. See what I mean? The police, that somebody should be there. In a little while, I'm going to be phoning them more. Suddenly they're making noises. I mean, anyone and everybody on YouTube has witnessed them. Oh, it's not us. It's them banging that front door next door, standing outside our front door, my front door, lying that at the word "our" on the internet meant at myself and somebody online when it's just myself and my family. Our. It's not our business. They're online. While I'm doing my live stream, that's because they're internet trolling and they don't have anything greater and better to did and do. Any financial monetization, maybe they did earlier. I thanked them already for that. They don't get anything else. That's it. They keep on harassing and bullying, internet trolling, and stalking us. They won't leave us alone. I'm not being the racist, bigot, discriminationist, prejudice, prejudice they and other people did all about, all to, and all about my parents and my parents' parents, my parents' parents' parents, etc., and all animals and all pets, all fur babies, and myself. Oh, and I blogged I couldn't find this piece of paper yesterday. I found it. It was under my couch. It went under my couch. Are they going to involve the condominium corporation staff more? Are they going to crank co-security more? Are they going to harass security? Are they going to harass the police more? Well, they mind their own business. They can't get along with other residents. Well, maybe apartment dwelling isn't the right place for them to be, and they should leave and never come back. I never much did like. The only thing I liked in 55 Strathaven Drive, unit, uh, apartment 20, apartment 210, was I believe it had a walk-in shower. That was the only thing I liked about that place. That's the first time I've smiled in a long time hearing one and more dogs since my cat died. Louise's Journey, EXO allegedly, and or Aaron Hamilton, Gupta next door, TD Bank next door, not here. And just because all banking wasn't the same doesn't mean that the lesser amounted banking was overall. It didn't work out that way, and all those lies, an attempt to make those lies a reality, didn't change any of that. Including that my dad worked Canadian Pacific Railway. He did work there, you know. He wasn't just an investor or anything. He really worked there. He's got his pension and everything from there. He had it for years, employment there, somehow or other. And all times Mississauga, Grant Valley Hospital, and Mississauga Hospital tried Chilton told otherwise, practicing Alzheimer's, major neurological disorders, symptoms and behaviors, and traumatic brain injury, and alcohol. It didn't change any of that, you know. He still works there. My father. Daddy's girl. That's me. Daddy girl. Daddy's girl. And I've met other people railway there, elsewhere. I'm not lying. They knew. I met, over the years, I've met one and more other people that knew my father. Met him when he was living, alive. And other people attended my father's funeral. I don't remember my father's funeral, my dad's funeral, very. Of course, I was a lot younger than I am now. Lots. I don't even remember how old my dad was when he died. I don't know if he even took early retirement or was retired. I have no clue. I just know that he died when I was younger. 1984 or something. And I didn't talk directly to those other people. And if they keep making noises, I'll put my music on before 7:30 p.m. and I'll put it in my kitchen and or hallway, and I'll enjoy listening to that instead of those noises from those other people. And that's not me more being racist, bigoted, discriminatory, prejudging, prejudicing. It was those other people instead, all about and all to and all about my parents and my parents' parents, my parents' parents' parents, and my parents' 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 parents, all pets, excuse me, and all animals and all pets, all fur babies, and myself, Avril, all named, all, and all names Bellis. I mean, censorship in this neighborhood and all elsewhere, it should never, ever have began. Mississauga Senior Citizen Center, South Square One Older Adult Center, Square One Shopping Center, Central Parkway Mall, and Active Adult Center, Mississauga, all elsewhere. Everywhere. What's more, I'm not there today in person, in person on site because of all that, and I'm not guilty. And all pets, all fur babies, all that, all those other Bellises, not guilty. I mean, the staff in this place, it's, they're ridiculous. They don't do their jobs. They don't do their jobs duties, jobs details, and jobs descriptions. They have yet to did rules and regulations 100% and privacy and safety 100%. I'm sitting here living proof. The police, alleged coroners, alleged justice of the peace, alleged crown and district attorneys could not, should not, could not, cannot, may not, must not, allowed anyone to add on, in, out from, and by here and other estates earlier, as earlier, to other residents, other guests, other staff, other people to add on, in, out from those Bellises and me a Bellis estates and contents, with and without us home, day and night, all times, and with and or without us in beds, sleeping, and including when my mom felt sorry for me, my cat died, and we were grieving, and it would have been better and greater had we had two twin-sized beds, although we did not, and there wasn't any I didn't have a sleeping bag or anything. My mom wanted me, she was trying to console me. And while I was cleaning up after my sick cat that died, that's all that was. That wasn't abuse. I wasn't abusing my mom whatsoever. And other times before, I couldn't sleep on my couch. My cat, it was just, it was just a sick, gravely ill cat. And I, to this day, thank the veterinarian that helped me the last 2 days of his life living. I've seen it more on the internet. Lots of other people don't want euthanasia. Yet, farmers and all others and domestic have been using euthanasia during some crisis. Uh, Cancer, fluid on the lungs, etc. It was just another day, surgery. My cat would have suffered more. Another week of medication and more surgery. May have lived another week or two suffering. He was collapsing now and then, and I did do CPR on him more than once. And he kept wanting to come home. He kept thinking he could come home. He was believing he could come home. I'm just looking forward to having some privacy and safety and quiet time home and doing some more gardening, tying up my balcony. Maybe I'll actually get out there and have maybe at least one hot beverage or cold beverage or room temperature beverage this summer. Do a little gardening, like I mentioned before, earlier live stream. Earlier video, earlier community post. I mean, I know my mom has to stop forgetting. I don't forget like that. My mom has to stop forgetting. That's why my mom was hospitalized more than twice and has been medicated as. And it's difficult. I mean, I miss doing lots of things I did when I was younger. And it's a lot of time consuming. And it takes a lot out of me to help my mom. And we did get some home help. That's good. I could do with another day of it. That would be better. Although that's, and greater. Although what we've got going on now is help. It does help me. I was gonna lay the smoke away, although I like it. Reminds me of my cat. Last Halloween at a previous address. I like that outfit. And I liked my jacket or coat that I wore. Or my Canadian Pacific Railway staff. Reminded me of my dad and everything. I just wanted to look like a Bellis. A daddy's girl. I don't remember. There's not lots of photos. I vaguely remember the 1980s fashions and stuff, and I'm sure I was along the right path. Love it all, fashions, accessories. My cat looked really handsome. All those outfits. He wasn't very in the mood for it, considering we lived next door. Although we did try, and I did have permission from some staff. Condominium corporation did it out on my balcony. There then was my balcony. Just I wasn't allowed to put anything on the railing. Uh, the balcony railing thing. It was just, and I was like, he's just a cat. He's not very big, and it was just a back door and some light, so I could do the photo. And I removed it, of course. I don't do anything like that here. Even when my cat was alive, I didn't do anything. I was trying to make it all inside, indoors. I did take him out once or more out my balcony, but I didn't really like it here. He started to, he could see from out, he saw outside enough. He didn't like, it was, he just didn't like, I think he was just frightened. He had an anxiety attack and he wanted to come inside. He wanted to come in. And when other people used alleged health records, all about my parents and my parents' parents and my parents' parents' parents and my parents' 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 parents, and all animals and all pets, all fur babies and myself, who did or mischief, trespasses, etc., and all financial, all those other people are, were, be, and did, and do all bad, all purposefully, all wrong, all not lawful, all not legal, all not sane, all not competent, and all not employable themselves. All too, all about my parents, my parents, my parents, and my parents' parents, and my parents' parents' parents, and my parents' 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 parents, all animals, all pets, all fur babies, and myself. And we're not the only victims of that, I know. I know. I know. Instead of the police coming here for all those people more, the police should return to them and do judiciary justice, arrest with and or without new paroles and or probations, new and jail them, new and or historical with and or without new jailing. I don't know, just I want them to stop and leave us alone. YouTube community standards, Facebook community guidelines, and or vice versa, whatever. I hope all those phone calls to my mom, and did my mom return any, that they're all recorded, because, especially all the incoming ones, because we should not have phone called my mom whatsoever. Only I can, and some other people, but those other ones, they know who they are. I should never have phone called her. Shouldn't even phone called me. All historical, all geographical, all financial. Oh, I'd love to. They're afraid it's going to go public. Well, they should never have did it. The whole world is public except some residential. Most everything and anything is public nowadays. Internet, Wi-Fi's, networking, virtual, social media. Very low privacy, unlike there used to be. I mean, it's worse now than when it was just telephones and mail. I mean, sending mail. Someone didn't want that public. Well, why put postage stamp on it and send it? Because in transportation, deliveries, it's all public until it's picked up by the resident and brought in residential, and even then, you know. And I wasn't well since 2024. Stuff happened. I've live streamed and vlogged, and then I got ill after, since my cat died, dead, February, and I wasn't feeling well. My mom said, "You gotta go to the hospital. You really should go to the hospital." I'm like, "I don't want to." I went, and I was diagnosed influenza type A virus. I go on and on about this all the time, almost daily, at least weekly, and at least once a week or so. I've mentioned this before, and they didn't do lots. They didn't give me lots of medicine, but then that's the alleged influenza. Then my mom was tired, and they didn't give her a comfortable chair. They didn't give her a cot to sleep on, cot and a thing, bed. So she was like, "I want to go home." So I was like, "Okay, here's my key." I didn't feel very well, and I said, "Do you go home? I want my toothbrush and my tooth, all that stuff a patient goes through, right?" And I was phone calling my mom a lot, and I think the staff didn't like me doing that because I couldn't hear from her. She never phone called me. And eventually we connected, and my mom was like, "I had a fall. I fell. I can't get up." So I sent for an ambulance. They finally got to my mom, finally. Finally. My mom was admitted, same hospital as I was in. And my mom was discharged, and then I was discharged, and I had to, went home. I told the staff in the line to sort of way I was feeling better, which I was not. And we got home, and then I didn't feel well. My mom was like, "I'll go back to the hospital." I'm like, "No, I don't want to go back to the hospital." So I went to my doctor, who medicated me, prescribed prescription, and I got worse. And then I got better. I lost about 14 pounds in total within a week and a half before I began feeling better. And that included all the vomiting I did. And I was feeling better. I mentioned it all before, my being active, exercised. And then March 18, that night, I fainted. And I didn't know I was fainting very well, and by the time I got to the floor, it was done. And I hurt my knee, and my mom heard me let out a shriek of pain, and my mom phone called an ambulance. My mom couldn't use, my mom phone wasn't functioning properly, and we used my phone and my mom's phone for the ambulance to come. Finally, the paramedics came. They put a neck brace on me I did not like. Finally, we got to the hospital emergency. Finally. And the physiotherapist there watched, and then I got physiotherapy at home. Physiotherapy. And eventually I've been feeling better. I do the exercises at least once a day, all of them. I have pages to do. Reminds me of chair exercises, Square One Older Adult Center, Active Adult Center, Mississauga, and off-site before all that, Mississauga Senior Citizen Center. And all those 7 months, not one of those doctors questioned my mental health. They treat it as physical. Not like all those other people, all bad, all purposeful, all wrong, all not sane, all not competent, all not employable, and didn't know us well enough to have judged that and did all that all themselves instead. And you know what's sad? Some other people see, in media deemed media, residential, and all public places not real, as seeing media, internet, uh, Wi-Fi, social media, all that, live streaming, etc. They're like, oh, they could see this, and they could see it uh, uh, during replays, and not knowing that it's not live and everything, and that was they could lied and showed and told that as symptoms and behaviors that during those live streams, replays, other and the media, etc., and all videos and all that happened, and that they see those same others elsewhere during all that, since all that later, that that was symptoms and behaviors of those people, those others did that and elsewhere, such as residential. Does that make sense? I tried to make that make sense. I mean, what happened on November 12th, that's all documented lies, and all allegations, accusations, lies, and what happened outside, and the alleged wellness check to make sure my mom was well. Why? She didn't die. She wasn't dead. The security guard, parking security, lobby security, and all elsewhere outside front doors, security, witnessed we came home and the dead person outside doesn't and didn't look anything like me. What did the police try and do? Cut and paste, put a photo of me on top of it all and try to show it and told that it was me? That's not allowed. The real dead person died. I was showed and told she died. I asked if it was suicide. They didn't confirm and or deny. They have been saying to me, as of last, that was she fell. I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't home all day. I don't know, and I don't care. I couldn't save the person, so I mean, I'm just hearing and seeing it since later. There was no need to do an alleged wellness check on us at home. The internet, Wi-Fi, social media on the whole time, live streaming. I was not. They were internet. I mean, it was just. It's. Oh, hello, everyone. Hi, Christy, Taylor. Hello DTI underscore noob. Hello Abdul Quayam. Hello everyone. Enough of that drama. And I acknowledged you online. No offense intended. I'm gonna get myself another hot coffee. I had my coffee and honey. Better late than never. Better greater late than not ever. I have more laundry to do. Oh, yesterday was an exhausting day. I want to do a garden up my balcony. I don't want to say exactly where, but I want to grow some tomatoes this year that are better than any tomatoes I grew elsewhere. Just one. I'm not going to be eating outside. I don't do that here because I don't want to bugs. And I might even just begin the plant inside and just have some, you know, I want to get a mesh green over so that, you know, um, one tomato plant and maybe get one potato, a white potato with the eyes, the thing, put that in, just have that, see if anything comes of it. And I want to do my indoor um, herb garden. I don't know where to put it exactly. It's just because, unless I get another fur baby before there's December 1 this year. But right now, that's what I'm into. I don't, like I said, the residents, they're so obsessed, compulsive, and grandiose, erotomanic, somatic, and persecutory delusional about us. It's disgusting. And I'm not going to bother them. I don't have any interest whatsoever. Do they play their music loud? Do they yell and scream outside my front door? I'll try and record it and contact security and the police and send them there again. I mean, dogs barking. I don't. It's beautiful sounds to my ears, you know. I mean, who, what, where, when, why, and how? All. Kim Thompson, Lily Thompson, Louisa's Journey XO, and Ashley. Seriously. All media, alleged, etc. All factual. All before, and all during, and all later, and all since my parents, and my parents' parents, and my parents' parents' parents, and my parents' 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 parents, and all animals, and all pets, all fur babies, and myself. Avril. All named, all, and all names Bellis. Oh, and did I mention the alleged name used? Maud, Maude. Well, no, I have. Such as celebrity stalker Angela and celebrity stalker James Maud and James' alleged uncle Norman Thompson. Factual. All those phone called my mom and I earlier since my dad died in 1984. You know, since before 1990, 1991, etc. Before May 26, 2025. I mean, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada should, can, could, may, must, and need flourished and flourish. with and with my parents and my parents' parents, all those Bellases and myself, Bellas. Examples: Bellas perennius and Bellas daisies, etc. Oh, and I made some changes to my online stuff, internet, social media. I updated here was Foodie Beauty, no, the other names, titles I used before. Now, and since Foodie Beauty at Caffeine Queen Avril, since later is Foodie Beauty at Living Well with Sinus Bradycardia, and my other one um, has been updated. The Avril Bellis Hedge Witch and all the other means titles I used before now. Um, Avril and Fur Babies, Bellis's Fairies Gardens, two hearts, one gray and or silver and yellow and or gold, and that's at Avril Bellis the Hedge Witch. Like and subscribe there too. Like and subscribe here. Like and subscribe. I'll be moving over to there soon. Outside doing my meatless Mondays and pizza and pasta and or pizza and or pasta Tuesdays, I'll be over there doing my gardening. Nothing flamboyant, nothing too extravagant, just simply the best. Sort of resembles the active adult center of Mississauga Cafe Kitchen Gardens. And other botany they did there, happened there earlier. And I would have liked to used some of the gardening, like attended one of the sales or whatever, and Arundel Presbyterian Church. I've seen some sales there too. My mom doesn't want to go to church. I'm not going to force her to. Sometimes I go on a Sunday. Sometimes I try to watch the replays. I really, truly do. I'm not lying. Some other people, like I said, as I said, I should say, earlier, all bad and all purposeful and all wrong and all purposefully and all not legal and not all lawful, not all sane, all not competent, and all not employable. Misinformation that going to Sunday services, etc., Arundel Presbyterian Church, Arundel Presbyterian Church, and elsewhere churches, etc., religion, should, can, could, may, must, and need, are, were, and be, and doing symptoms, behaviors, when and more mental illnesses such as obsessive compulsive. And that's all been documented and all witnessed, not factual. All lies, all those allegations and accusations of obsessive compulsive, because I want to go to church on a Sunday, and I don't do it lots, but that's the one day of the week I really truly do. I enjoy going there an hour or so doing religion. And some other people, misinformation that, oh, you do that, well, then you're not a witch. Because witches don't do that. Many witches did before, and I'm one of them. Although I don't believe that there's such a thing as other witches, although there are, apparently documented, others too witnessed. I'm not the only one, although I am not the only one. And I'm not the only one that goes to church on Sundays and does that, in addition to other religions such as Wicca, pagan, Roman Catholic, Anglican, etc. This Halloween too. I'm coming out, so you better get ready. Let's get the party started. It's time to practice some more Halloween. Let's celebrate Halloween, shall we? Who's going to be with me this Halloween? Are your costumes going to be? Are any of you going to be doing any um, gardening and costumes, wearing any, dressing your pets, fur babies up in little Halloween costumes? My cat was like the little vamp. He was big, although he was like a little vampire. His love bites. My cat gave him love bites. Should I do a poll? I haven't done a poll yet. I didn't do the word done. My mom used to talk about geography and history and stuff. And she used to show and tell people that I was from Toronto. I was from North York. The hospital I was Western Ontario. Everything was Western Ontario. Weston is not North York. Weston is not Toronto. It is Weston. I'm not from North York. I am from Weston. And then, in addition to that, Wasaga and Havelock and Lake Cashel cottages, etc. And then later on, Woodbridge. We weren't there for very long. I don't know. I don't care. That's where I was from. As I was not from North York. I was from Western Ontario, Canada, more than 14 years. And also known as the Witch. One of the many witches from Western Ontario, Canada. The Witch. The Bellis Witch. Avril, Avril. Also known as the modern version of it all, the Hedge Witch, because I'm a lazy pagan. I don't do bugger all. I laughed when I did research and I saw all the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, alleged rituals. I don't do that. The only thing I ever do is go to Sunday church. And I think it's fascinating, you know. I don't agree with everything, but then I never have, and it's the Bible. My version of reading the Bible is not always the same as everybody else's, although it's just as good as, and I do it for a whole hour. I, and I like to take communion sometimes. I'll go to church on a Sunday or whenever when I vacation, etc. So when I'm not Catholic, I'm a vlogger, a local celebrity, etc. I walk in and I insist, my head's away with the fairies. Do I do anything you disapprove of? Please just say it loud enough that I can hear. Just shout it at me, and I will do that. 99.9% of the time, a priest, a minister, when it's communion or anything, if enough, I'm just walking around with a piece of something or other, they'll yell, they shout it at me, put it in your mouth. I was like, huh? Oh, yeah, okay, thank you. I did. I mean, I'm allowed to do all that. I believe in religion, not one, many. Like I said, uh, Protestant, Presbyterian, Roman Catholic, Anglican, Wiccan, pagan. United. The United Church. United Church. That's kind of where my head is at. And any healthcare alleged professional healthcare worker showed and told my parents and my parents' parents and all animals, all pets, all fur babies, and myself that was wrong. Oh, you're mentally ill. You need to take a pill. You have to stop doing that. How are you crazies going to stop every church, all those churches opening up on Sundays, doing Sunday service, etc.? Oh, you're not. You're not. And some hospitals even have, you know, a priest or somebody on standby in case there's going to be a death and they need to be read their last rites. If you know religion, you know what I'm talking about. And some patients might want only to hold a minister and or priest's hand while recovering, recuperating to get to the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year. You walk out the hospital, say, sayonara, bitches. Out the door they go, hopefully not to come back there uh, at least a decade and or more, if ever. Some other patients, too, might want just to been discharged, gravely ill, and wanted to go home and die at home with their family and friends, acquaintances and stuff, their family, instead of in the hospitals. It's there these days. The status of what I saw and witnessed, what I witnessed years ago, Humber Memorial Hospital, I thought that was dirty. When I saw Mississauga Hospital, was beyond that. It was disgusting. It was worse than having a garbage bag in any room and or hallway. There was blood. Somebody else bled in there and nobody showed up to clean that up. They should have put the bathroom out of service at least. And two, other times, where were the cleaning staff? I don't care about some alleged pandemic, COVID-19, SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, cold. The staff should have been there, and the staff that didn't. There's thousands of other people. There's students and lots of others, that would love to be working there, and they would probably have done. Most all of them would have been greater and better than all that. Wellness checks, really? Are you stupid? Have you been a patient there? Have you walked about uh, February and March and May 2025? Those bathrooms were disgusting, grotesque, dirty, bloody mess, bloody messes. And I wasn't feeling well that I didn't always video make, photograph and vlog. And I know I'm not supposed to, well, alleged. although some other people did allow me to myself. I mean, the heart monitor, of course. The IVs, of course. Me, of course. I mean, when my mom was a patient, I did photograph just in case, although I did not blogged. I did not do community posts. I didn't post at all. Privacy and safety. See, with my cat as a patient elsewhere, you know. And sometimes I remember, well, not sometimes I remember, I often reminisce, I should say. And it's not a depression, it's just a mourning, grieving kind of thing. And I cry, I feel sorry for my cat. His his anal exams because of his IBS or whatever, Crohn's or whatever it was that made him have those bowel movements and or lack of diarrhea, etc. And those awful pedicures he had. I don't know why the staff there became that way. I knew them for quite a while, and they even babysat it for me. Yet the last pet stuff they did was so vile. And then the other place I went to wasn't any greater and better, very. They didn't give me and my cat the professionalism we deserved. And my mom. Sad, very. The place of first choice I wanted to return to, even though I didn't agree with what they did about putting medicine in my cat, in my and my mom cat Whisker's mouth before Whiskers had to be euthanized. Uh, I did contact them. That's where I really wanted to return to, and I'm sure my Rudy Noel would have been better off there. I actually went by there the other day, and I recognized the place and everything, and I just stood still. My mom was still walking with her walker. She was so cute, and I just froze. I'm like, I just wanted to cry. I was just ready just to go. And I walked away and I just wondered, and I wondered. And I was just like, oh my God, I wish I could have went in there, but maybe next time I don't even know if it's the same staff. I would have loved to have gone and paid them a visit and let them know what happened to my cat. I know I complained and everything, but they were really good when Whiskers was euthanized. They let me stay in that room quite some time. And any of the staff there ever see and hear any of my social media, anything, they know what I'm going through. And it's worse this time than it was that time, so. And it doesn't matter from move to move and or whatever, do we not have all the documented proof, such as Whiskers adoption papers and death certificates and or other pets, other fur babies' receipts, purchases, and all that. They are and were and be real and lived. Only other people's stalkers that were majorly mentally not well, not majorly, major neurologic disordered and or mentally ill themselves didn't know they were real and lived. And my Charles, I didn't choose Charles over my pussycat Rudy Noah. My cat was just sicker and more gravely ill, and my Charles has his foliage. My whether it's a he or she, he and or she, the foliage has really grown more, and I don't know how. I look at my plant amazed and in awe. Beautiful Christmas cactus. I call it Christmas cactus. I know there's another name to describe it. It's called biology, uh, uh, botany. My mom's African violet. I do the same to both. I water them once a week. That's all I do. I talk to them occasionally. I'll say good morning, good night. You know, they both flourish the sound of my voice. They love the soil that they get. Soils. They just, you know, I don't always have good luck with African violets, but this one is hanging in there. And hopefully we'll get some buds soon. Same with my cactus, some new buds. Beautiful, beautiful cactus. I do. I laugh at people online, documented, all that stuff published. Oh, flowers, plants need pollinators. Yeah. Yes. The world needs pollinators. They've had pollinators for centuries. Centuries. Pollinators. Although greenhouses and indoors. What's the difference between a greenhouse tomato and an outdoors tomato? Exactly. And have any of you ever heard of Gaia? Gaia mythology, etc. You can see lots of that on my social media. I've been integrating that with my religious beliefs, Sundays, and all other times. And I've made it this far. I'm here, and I'm alive, living, and it's helped me with my family, friends, acquaintances, etc. It helps me calm down, like calm my breathing. Uh, Sometimes I listen to alternative music to do rest more, relax more. Zen. I like to do Zen. When I get into GAIA, I like to do botany. Makes me feel better. Get my hand in soil, earth for a few minutes every year. I like trees more than I used to. Maple trees, etc. I like to maybe put my hand on when my hands are both my hands on for a while. It makes me feel better. It's one of the things I liked about those two centers, the cafes, the kitchens. And the other center closed. And that they have vegetarian and or vegan vegetarian alternatives there. Maybe that's where I'll buy my tomato plant this year, the Activata Center, Mississauga. Maybe, maybe not. Oh my god, I think I just saw a butterfly. Might be one of my children or grandchildren that's a butterfly, because I used to have butterflies. Caterpillars. Where did it go? Oh, I don't know where it went. I saw it fluttering, flying around. Oh my god. That's so GAIA, etc. Oh wow. That's the fastest I've moved in a long time. The pollinator just came and went. Woo! Oh, I just opened my window covering a bit more just in case a beautiful creature comes back and I can see more of. Whew. Caterpillars. Do you remember the caterpillars? I know the monarch butterfly caterpillars. Tent caterpillars. Oh, I love those tent. Those are two of my favorite kinds of caterpillars and stuff. And there's other ones too. Remember the little ones that they would hang from a tree or something? They come out. They were like this cute little green. I just love to have a caterpillar crawling on my hand. I know it sounds creepy, but I do. I like the tent caterpillar, the nice and fluffy, not the centipedes, the caterpillars. It's so nice and fluffy. I remember when I was little, I used to get confused. I used to believe those were cats. Felines, a caterpillar, because the first three letters, cat. Finally, I figured out there's two species. There's the caterpillars and the felines. And that Canadian snow is not white, it's actually off white. Snow. I wonder what my first snow day is going to be this year. This new winter that's coming. I wonder how long I'm going to have to wait until that happens. It's going to be during Thanksgiving, during Halloween, during the month of November, Remembrance Day, December, December 1, December 17, December 18, 19, 24, 25, 26, 31. North America, with and or without Canada, eh? clouds I'm looking outside the sky look like dirty mashed potatoes cooked. The lower ones, oh wow, it looks like plane just flew that way. Bottom ones look nice and creamy, mashed potatoes, white, yummy. Then there's a dirty patch, the gray, and then more white, fluffy, and a whole lot of gray. How appetizing. Sorry. Oh, I have me some vanilla coffee. Vanilla. That's the only time I like sugar-free berry is when I have a coffee. Any other times I don't. Although I try to avoid lots of sugar. Well, all sugar vary. Unless it's a special occasion. Unless I'm out and there's nothing available. I don't like the little sugar pouches that are not sugar. You know, those alternative sweeteners. Like sweet and low and stuff and stevia. I don't like those. I've tried. I don't like. I get migraines, etc. But I like sugar-free syrups. I liked the ones from Skinny Food Co., although I did not like the negative comments, the negative publicity about that product, so I'm not doing that anymore. We are not. I have some food to eat. I haven't done it. I haven't ate it yet. If I feel like it tomorrow, maybe I'll cook it, and I'll do that. Or I might just keep it. And I think I have some shortbread or something. I don't know, cookies, whatever we got. But all the condiments gone. All the negative publicity, internet, social media, etc. And I tried to find something closer to home that, and I got nice vanilla. I like sugar-free. And I don't get the headaches, migraines that I've got from like stevia and sweet and low and um, powder ones. I've mentioned it before, but I got this vanilla one we got. Oh my god, it is so good. It's almost as good as the one I got in Starbucks most recently. Oh, that was so good. Some sugar-free vanilla, some almond milk, and coffee. It tastes like cereal. The only that was missing was the cereal. It was so good. Better than so it was good. Kettle's whistling. Can you hear it? It's music to my ears. Not too loud, not too loud. Mom, where's your mug? Where's your mug? Okay. So what kind of soup do you want? have any vegetable because I got some of that because it's meatless Monday. As far as I know, there's not any beef broth or anything in the soup. Hopefully. Last coffee today that's caffeinated, maybe. Some banana. Vanilla. Banana beans. Woohoo. It's a splash, like a teaspoonful of. So good. Oh, I like it. Try to have one or two of those every day. And some caramel, or at another time some brown sugar and cinnamon soup is very good. I like it better than the other one I mentioned. Sugar-free skinny food puffs. Oh, look at that. I mean, I still have this, we continue having the Skinny Fuko app, and I do follow them on social media, although negative comments and negative publicity, I can't be bothered. That's not what I wanted to do with those 3 centers and when I'm elsewhere. I don't want to do that. I want to do body positivity and natural aesthetics instead. All before, all during, all later, and all since May 26, 2025. Ah, the clouds have sort of separated. I can see more blue sky now. Wow. I look forward to finding more vlogs, videos published online all about my parents and my parents' parents and my parents' parents' parents and my parents' 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 parents and all animals and all pets, all fur babies and myself. I truly do. Examples: Mississauga Senior Citizen Center, Square One Shopping Center, Square One Older Adult Center, Central Parkway Mall, and Active Out Center of Mississauga. I am 100% sure I was not the only one that photographed, recorded, and filmed in there, videotaped in there. To add on, in, out, from, and by. And Mississauga Hospital and Grant Valley Hospital, etc. Entertainment and evidence and entertainment. I remember where we used to live before more than one estate because my mom used to move around. My mom's health, she can't use stairs. She can't go up and down stairs very by herself and with help. And three of the fattest, ugliest, most grotesque, mentally ill, obsessive compulsive, and grandiose, erotomanic, somatic, and persecutory delusional other people used to trespass lots, mischief lots. And since we showed and told them, with and without police, to please get out, leave, phones, calls, out went, etc., all those other people, uh, they did that all the more. They would trespass, more mischief and stuff, and more lied, more accused, more alleged. Those other people did. Not ever during those mental illnesses, symptoms and behaviors, they ever realized that it was themselves instead of us. They never yet have realized it was themselves instead of us. My parents, my parents' parents, my parents' parents' parents, and my parents' 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 parents, and all animals, and and all pets, all fur babies, and myself. Go look at it yourself on Facebook, Messenger, TikTok, and YouTube. It's all out there. I'm not lying. Seriously. Absolutely. I'm not lying. We never did it to them, and I don't do it to them. They always came. We never went to the same. They did it to us. I videotaped some of it, filmed it, recorded, vlogged it, live streamed, etc. I'm not lying. We're not liars. We're not liars. We're not liars. We're that way. We never lied about them. And all the other times, too. All others. And I sometimes watch on social media, sometimes other people complaining about the healthcare system, allegedly North America with and or without Canada, and how awful it is, and how many patients have been denied health care, emergencies, first aid, CPR, etc. Alleged professionals, healthcare workers, because of personal vendettas, etc. Those personal vendettas, you should have been fired long ago, and new staff that don't do that. I've witnessed it when I was younger, even just less than a month ago myself. I know there's two witnessed. I've published on my community post page a photo of them. The three of those other people did that. And my mom, I wasn't in the photo, and I don't know if I was even there. I could have been at work or somewhere else. I could have been at work and or somewhere else, and I could have used a timer. I could have set it up so that but they all looked like they knew they were being photographed. So either or, and that photo. Again, my mom forgot. And as far as those two places, the phones, the landlines were in my name. I didn't make those outwent phone calls. They did. In Credit Valley Hospital, geriatrics, senior services doctor, celebrities doctor, celebrity stalker Dr. Judy Fernando did not delete any of that into any mental health. That all happened, including all the head injuries that those other people did unto themselves and more other persons. All before, all during, all later, and all since November 12, 2024. So I'm doing my meatless Monday. So I am doing my meatless Monday today. I began my day with a Brazil nut and my nut shell. And then I did a jacket potato or a potato jacket, stuffed potato. I didn't use any extra virgin olive oil and not any sea salt. I just used plant-based margarine or plant-based butter. And on top of that, when I was filling my potato cooked, I put some stovetop. I filled my old pot with some water and stovetop cooked my broccoli and cauliflower, and I ate that. Just trying to figure out what time that's going to be my dinner. I will not discuss any furthermore on live stream. So sure, some of you, if not all of you, want to watch my video. And use the like button, like and subscribe. Thumbs up, like. Vanilla. Not French vanilla. Vanilla. This is not French vanilla coffee. I didn't do all the vanilla. Vanilla. Sugar free. Oh, that's good. This woman has schizophrenia. Take your meds. Well, no, I don't have that, but apparently you're a stalker and you have a right to freedom of speech, but where are the symptoms of that mental illness? Shall I Google it and read it aloud? Because I do not have a schizoaffective disorder. I just pinned you. I've got my meds right here. And their instructions are take 1 or 2 tablets up to 4 times a day as needed. And it's not an antipsychotic, it's not Ritalin, it's not risperidone. Same with these too. Came off this one once more back when I've had it before. The side effects of that are gross. Finished these ones. Let's look up the word schizophrenia. And I'll read it out loud. Do you know the difference out loud and the voices in your head? The delusions. Now that's Schizophrenia is a mental disorder characterized variously by hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking and behavior, and flat or inappropriate effects. Symptoms develop gradually and typically begin during young adulthood and rarely resolve. The exact cause of schizophrenia is unknown, but it's likely a combination of genetic, environmental, and brain chemistry factors. Genetics. Schizophrenia can run in families, and studies suggest multiple genes may increase the risks. Brain chemistry. Changes in brain chemicals like dopamine and glutamate may play a role. Schizophrenia is a mental disorder that can impact a person's perceptions, thoughts, emotions, and social interactions. Symptoms can vary between individuals, but some of the most common include psychotic symptoms, hallucinations, seeing, hearing, or feeling things that aren't there, and delusions, strong, irrational beliefs that aren't based on in reality. Schizophrenia is a chronic mental disorder that can affect a person's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, leading to a range of symptoms. These symptoms can be broadly categorized as positive, negative, and cognitive. Positive symptoms, these are symptoms that are present in addition to what is considered normal experience. They include delusions, false beliefs that are firmly held despite evidence to the contrary. Hallucinations, experiencing sensory perceptions such as seeing or hearing things that are not actually present. Disorganized thinking and speech, difficulty organizing thoughts and communicating them effectively, which can manifest as incoherent or rambling speech. Disorganized or catatonic behavior, unusual or inappropriate movements, actions, or postures. Negative symptoms. These are symptoms that involve a reduction or absence of normal. Let me begin that once more. Negative symptoms. These are symptoms that involve a reduction or absence of normal thoughts, emotions, or behaviors. They can include reduced emotional expression, difficulty expressing emotions, which can appear as a flat or blunted effect. I don't have that. I did not do that. Apathy, lack of motivation or interest in activities. I did not do that. Apathy, lack of motivation or interest in activities. I did not do that. I do not do that. Reduced speech, speaking less frequently or responding with limited information. I didn't do that. I don't do that. Cognitive symptoms. These symptoms affect a person's ability to think, remember, and process information. They can include difficulty with attention and concentration, trouble focusing and maintaining attention, problems with memory, difficulties remembering information, especially new information, disorganized thinking, struggling to organize thoughts and make decisions. Other symptoms: anxiety and depression. People with schizophrenia can experience significant anxiety and depression, which can worsen their symptoms. Social withdrawal, withdrawing from social interactions and isolating oneself from others. Paranoia, feeling suspicious or persecuted by others. Difficulty with self care, neglecting personal hygiene or self care tasks. I've had injuries over the years that interfered, and I used to pay other people to wash and blow dry my hairs, and I was gifted that and hygiene, manicures, pedicures. So whoever you are, uh, accused me of having uh, schizophrenia. You should do your research. Del Stevens, do your research before you falsely accuse anyone on and off the internet. I mean, other people with mental health issues did before it and are off their meds. And there's alternative medicine nowadays that are not risperidone, antipsychotics, and Ritalin. You know, there's other like the keto medical, keto medicine, keto medical diet, whatever it's called, keto medical. And I'm sorry you don't believe any of what I said and showed earlier. You misinformation on my social media, or misinformation, misconstrued. I mean, I don't talk like lots of other people because, well, when I'm nervous, being nervous and shy is not schizophrenic. It's not schizophrenia. And the fact that I fainted earlier and was sick earlier this year, also not schizophrenia, and haven't been assaulted and wounded by one and more other person, that is also not schizophrenia. It's not schizophrenic. I do not have a schizoaffective disorder. Other people accused me of did. I do not. I did not. All witnessed. And all should, can, could, may, must, and need, showed and told, and show and tell, all that and all those. There, elsewhere, everywhere. All happened. Whereas attention deficit, now that's something else. Now that you mentioned all that you did, I see your comments. I'm going to look up that because I've seen and heard other people talk about having that. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and auditory hallucinations can sometimes occur together, and research suggests a potential link between higher ADHD symptoms and psychosis, including auditory hallucinations. While this connection is being explored, it's important to note that ADHD and auditory hallucinations are distinct conditions that can co-occur. co-occur. Elaboration: ADHD and auditory hallucinations. Some studies have found that individuals with ADHD may be more likely to experience psychosis, including auditory hallucinations, paranoia, and paranoid ideation. Potential mechanisms. One theory suggests that dysphoric mood, sadness, or low mood might be a factor linking ADHD symptoms to psychosis, not a direct cause. It's crucial to understand that ADHD does not directly cause auditory hallucinations, and the link is complex and not fully understood. Other factors: substance abuse, particularly in adolescents, may also play a role in the development of psychotic symptoms, including hallucinations in individuals with ADHD. Treatment. Treating ADHD may involve medication therapy or a combination of both. If auditory hallucinations are present, a comprehensive assessment and treatment plan involving a psychiatrist, psychiat, psychiatrist, or other mental health professional is necessary. Distinguishing ADHD from schizophrenia. While both conditions can affect attention and may co-occur, they are distinct disorders with different characteristics, and treatment approaches. Impact on functioning. Auditory hallucination. Auditory. My glasses. My reading glasses need clean. Auditory hallucinations can significantly impact an individual's ability to function, especially in situations requiring attention and focus. Importance of early intervention. Early identification and treatment of both ADHD and any concurrent psychotic symptoms are crucial for improving outcomes. Seeking professional help. If you or someone you know is experiencing ADHD and auditory hallucinations, it's essential to seek professional help for a proper diagnosis and treatment. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, and psychotic experiences, including auditory hallucinations and paranoid thoughts, can co occur, but they are distinct conditions. While hallucinations and paranoid thoughts are not typically associated with autism, they can be features of psychosis, which can sometimes develop in individuals with ASD. Understands the relationship, overlap but not the same. Psychosis, with its features like hallucinations and delusions, is a mental health condition that can sometimes occur in individuals with ASD but is not a core feature of autism itself. Differentiation. Clinicians can differentiate between ASD and psychosis by focusing on the specific features of each condition. ASD is characterized by social communication and interaction difficulties and repetitive or restrictive behaviors. Psychosis and ASD. Some individuals with ASD may experience psychotic symptoms such as auditory hallucinations or paranoid thoughts, which can be a result of co occurring psychosis. Misattributions. The sensory sensitivities and unusual perceptual experiences that are common in ASD can sometimes be misinterpreted as hallucinations or other psychotic symptoms. Diagnostic challenges. It's crucial to distinguish between the sensory sensitivities and unusual perceptions of ASD and the presence of genuine psychotic symptoms. Trauma and bullying. Bullying, discrimination, and social isolation related to autism can potentially increase the risk of experiencing hallucinations and paranoid thoughts. Key differences. Hallucinations and ASD. Autistic individuals may experience unusual perceptions, but they are often more related to heightened sensory experiences rather than unrealistic, extremely rather than unrealistic, externally sourced perceptions. Paranoia in ASD. Paranoid thoughts in ASD may be linked to difficulties interpreting social cues or understanding others' intentions rather than a belief that others are actively trying to harm them. Psychotic experiences. In psychosis, individuals may experience hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking, which are not typical of ASD. When to seek help. If an, if an if an individual with ASD is experiencing auditory hallucinations or paranoid thoughts, especially if they are distressing or interfering with daily life, it's important to seek professional help. A mental health professional can help assess whether the symptoms are related to psychosis or other co occurring conditions. In summary, while auditory hallucinations and paranoid thoughts are not core features of autism, they can be part of psychotic experiences that may develop in some individuals with ASD. Seeking professional evaluation is crucial to determine If these symptoms are indicative, indicative, indicative of psychosis or other conditions, and to receive appropriate support and treatment. And as I've just mentioned, uh, having bouts of depression and anxiety are not any of one of those mental illnesses and or disorders. Those disorders and mental illnesses are not and were not and be not depression and anxiety. Mourning and grieving. Obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, can sometimes be accompanied by auditory hallucinations and paranoid thoughts, creating a complex clinical picture. While these symptoms are not always present, they can occur, and when they do, it's important to seek professional help for proper diagnosis and treatment. Understanding the relationship, OCD and hallucinations. Sometimes individuals with OCD may experience auditory hallucinations, meaning they hear voices or sounds that are not actually present. These hallucinations can be related to the person's obsessions and compulsions. OCD and paranoid thoughts. OCD can also be associated with paranoid thoughts, which are characterized by a suspicion or distrust of others. These thoughts may be related to the person's obsessions and fears, overlap with psychosis. In some cases, OCD symptoms can overlap with symptoms of psychosis, including hallucinations, delusions, and paranoid thoughts. This can make diagnosis and treatment more challenging. Metacognition and beliefs. Metacognitive beliefs, which are thoughts about one's own thoughts, can play a role in both OCD and psychosis. For example, individuals with OCD may have heightened beliefs about their thoughts and the need to control them, which can lead to anxiety and distress. Treatment approaches. Integrated treatment for individuals with co-occurring OCD and psychotic symptoms. An integrated treatment approach is essential. This may involve a combination of medications, tailored cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT), and ongoing support from mental health professionals. CBT can help individuals manage their obsessions, compulsions, and related anxieties. Medications such as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors SSRIs may be used to help reduce the frequency and intensity of of obsessive thoughts and compulsions. Psychotherapy, psychotherapy such as individual or family therapy, can provide support and guidance. Important consideration: early diagnosis. It is important to seek early diagnosis and treatment for both OCD and any co-occurring psychotic symptoms. Individualized approach. Treatment plans should be tailored to the individual's specific needs and symptoms. Ongoing support from mental health professionals and family members is crucial for successful recovery. In summary, while obsessive compulsive disorder can be a complex condition on its own, the presence of auditory hallucinations and paranoid thoughts can add to the challenge. Seeking professional help is crucial for accurate diagnosis and an effective treatment plan.
Did you phone to see if my x-ray had come in?
No.
Okay. Could you give me the phone number?
No.
No.
No. I know since I had my accident, this happened to me. And I was wounded and injured in my recovery and recuperating. My speech is not as good. My talking is not as good as it used to be. It was earlier. I have come a long way, although 4 years later and since. And all during, all later, and all since 2024, and all before, all during, and all later, and all since February 23 and 24, 2025, and all before, and all during, and all later, and all since March 19, 2025, 2025, and all before, and all during, and all later, and all since May 2, 2025, and all before, and all during May 26, 2025. Those were the multiple vitamins you bought, remember?
Yeah. No, they go in the bag.
What?
No, go in the bag.
Bag.
Well, the bag will my other medication.
Yes. Do you want anything to drink?
Whatever you're making.
Want another tea?
Sure.
Okay. I'll do a tea. Oh yeah, lots of time.
5 o'clock, isn't it?
5:38.
Yeah. What's that? What?
Misinformation. Somebody misinformed my viewing audience, so I'm reporting them.
Oh, pardon. Why I get that?
Someone accused me online of having schizophrenia. So I looked it up for them. I Googled it and I read it to them. I showed that it's not what the symptoms and behaviors. I've never had that. Somebody else in my other people have had it. Have it. Okay. They don't know what it is because you know,
What did they say when you sent them that?
when I said it, I don't know. I just they didn't. I didn't see a comment.
They didn't reply.
Didn't reply, and I reported them as misinformation. And then I removed their. I put their comments. I put their accounts in timeouts. Their account in timeout.
Oh.
Yeah,
Too cold.
I returned to wearing this heavy or
I know.
warmer
Like
robe.
this, I went off.
And my other one, my dressing gown or my robe, whatever it's called. I'm gonna have some. I want some salad. I think that's how I'm gonna end my day because I ate potato earlier. That and maybe some rice crackers. Or